Are you somebody that tends to romanticize about what the vision of your life should be and what this year is going to be like and all that? Or are you actually getting down to reality and getting some things done moving forward in your life? I'm going to talk about the difference today here on 5-Minute Mentoring. Well, hey, my friend, I'm so glad that you are with me today here on 5-Minute Mentoring. You know, if we're all honest with each other, it's a little easy sometimes to romanticize at the beginning of the year about all the things we're going to get done and all the things that are going to happen and all this. And it's also kind of easy to get a little bit of defeatist about what happened last year. And we start thinking, well, you know, COVID, and if I'd made this much money, and if this hadn't happened, or they didn't do that to me, or that sort of thing. And all of that keeps life and progress really in this sort of inability to do anything about it, as opposed to looking at life through a real lens. A real lens doesn't mean that you're not actually looking toward the dreams and visions that God gives you, but it means that you've developed an intention and a process to move forward through those. You know, one of the things that I found over the years is that when people idealize and romanticize this big dream, this huge thing, and they're, oh, we're going to do it, it's going to be awesome, and I'm going to get it done in 3 months. What happens is if they don't hit that in 3 months or 6 months or a year, they get totally defeated. The enemy knocks them out of the game, starts beating up on them in their mind, in their heart, in their emotions, and they just ultimately get paralyzed or kicked out of the game. As opposed to learning to do what we talk about all the time in our mentoring program about setting 90-day goals that are in line with your vision, measuring that progress on a regular basis, celebrating that so that you can make sure that you're celebrating those little wins or those baby steps, as we call them so many times, and just making that forward progress every day toward the vision that God has given you. That's how progress gets made. That's how you start to really feel that you're moving into the thing that God's got for you. So don't blame the devil. Don't blame COVID. Don't blame politics or all this kind of thing. You know, you've got to begin to take responsibility. And the way that you take responsibility is to begin to measure those little successes, to plan and to evaluate and to keep walking forward in the context of community so that you can stay encouraged. You know, I've often said that your intention sets the course, that faith is what moves it forward, tenacity keeps it going, and grace, God's grace, is what sustains us in the process. And so I want to encourage you this year, as you're thinking about all the things that are possible, all the things that you want to do, I think that's great, but don't skip the step of actually taking that intention and making it into a goal that you can measure, that you can walk by weekly and daily, that you can set priorities for and boundaries for, so that you can give focus to your time and energy and resource, so that at the end of this year, you can look back and you can say, not only did I have a romanticized view of what was possible and a big dream, and I felt great about it, nothing wrong with that, but you can actually say that I got it done. I actually moved closer to the vision that God's given me, and whatever that looks like for you, that is success. My friend, I love you very much. I'm praying that God just blows you out of the water with an incredible 2022 this year. He will, as long as you keep putting Him first and as long as you keep taking the time to be intentional about your journey as an artist. Don't live on autopilot. Live with intention. Live by His grace. Live thriving in everything that God's called you to. All right, my friend, I love you. Remember, till next time, you were created to thrive. Bye.